Welcome to Ty's Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Today is August the 8th, 2025. We're going to be talking about TNA's TNA Impact Wrestling results. Santino made a lot of emergence matches. He made because ladies and gentlemen, there's some things that happened on the show, so I don't really care. We're going to just say all the matches that he announced. Him and Ariana Gray saw something nasty in his office. Mance Warner and Stephanie Lander was doing it in the office. So yeah, that was not good because after the International Championship, Mance Warner and Stephanie Lander was finally trying to find Santino. He wasn't in the office, so they thought it was a good idea to do something else in the office instead. So I'm sorry for that. And ladies and gentlemen, Gia Miller made her return to TNA, and she had a message to Tessa Blanchard. If she touches her again, she's going to do what? I can't say the other things because that's just hurtful. But ladies and gentlemen, Gia is angry and pissed off because what just happened to her at Slammiversary because of Tessa Blanchard. But Tessa is suspended and all that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I did not write one of these matches. It's going to be Ryan Nimitz versus the Hometown Man. We thought they're going to have a tag team title match at Emergence, but they not because Nick Nemeth is suspended. Well, the Nemeth was supposed to be suspended, but Santino put the match between Hometown Man and Ryan Nimitz in a match because he's kind of innocent. He didn't attack security guards and super kicked them in the face like Nick did, so Nick is suspended, not Ryan. Ryan will have a match at Emergence against Hometown Man at Emergence next week. So, because of that, the Hardys will be versing the Rascals for the tag team titles at Emergence. I thought we were going to see Wesley's team. Then they said to Trick Williams that they want a shot at the TNA tag team titles. I guess they're not going to get that shot. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we just saw a championship match earlier, but because what happened in that match, Steve Maclin will defend his international championship against Jinx Something in a no count out, no disqualification match. And ladies and gentlemen, I thought I heard this thing wrong. Sami Callihan is not facing Mike Santana tonight. He's going to be facing him next week at Emergence. And if Sami Callihan loses, he will retire. Let's see what happens there for Mr. Sami Callihan. But a lot of things happen with the Knockouts Championship, the Knockouts Tag Team titles. I will tell you guys more about that when we get there. But right now, Santino made, because of all that problems, Santino made it official. There's going to be a fatal four-way match for the Knockouts Tag Team titles. It will be Casey and Jesse McKay versus Fatal Influence, Jasmine Nix, and Fallen Henley versus Zaya Brookside, Ying Lee versus Heather, and I think it's Ash. I got M here, but it's going to be Ash defending the Knockouts Tag Team titles in the Fatal 4-Way. The problem is, will NXT take more titles from TNA? Because NXT is in this match. What's going to happen in there? We don't know what's going to happen with the Knockouts title. That's not on the line. Not yet. I don't think it is. But that title's not on the line yet. I thought we might have a triple threat match because the outcome of the Knockouts title match between Ash and JC Jane. But Santino did not make that official. So let's talk about the show, ladies and gentlemen. Trick Williams came out to start off the show and talk about Emergence and who he's facing, Moose. They just had a big talking to and to hype up their match. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I told you guys this 2 weeks ago. What happening with First Class? Because what happened with KC and last week hitting Trick Williams with the crutch, AJ's not happy because we heard more updates of KC's injury. He torn his ACL, and AJ Francis, he's not happy. So he replaced KC with the former co-founder of the First Class, the first guy that was in First Class with AJ Francis, the returning of Rich Swann. Rich Swann came out. He's back, and he's ready to make TNA AJ Francis. Ladies and gentlemen, and then AJ Francis is trying to get rid of KC, but KC did everything. He says he put his whole career on the line. He put his body on the line. Every time that AJ doesn't want to fight, KC's there to do that and all that stuff. And KC's Mr. AJ Francis says you were replacing Rich because he couldn't make it to TNA, and now you can't wrestle, so Rich is going to replace you. You've always been a replacement, a substitute. And then they kicked the crutch underneath KC, and KC fell, and AJ says, get off my stage or I throw you off my stage. And then they had a celebration between Rich Swann and AJ Francis while KC was walking away upset. I don't think we're going to see KC for a while. This is not a rivalry. I think this is just for him to get healed up for his torn ACL. So that's going to be interesting. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I was getting food when we saw the first match. Even the first segment, I did not see. But, ladies and gentlemen, I did not see this match, but I read about it. And we got Steve Maclin defending his international championship against Jake something, and it was a double countout. That's why we have a no disqualification and a no countout at Emergence for the title. So nobody won the match between Steve Maclin and Jake something. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got Ying Lee and Zaya Brookside versus Heather and M. This is why they got into the tag team title match. Pretty decent match, but the winner of that match was Lee and Brookside. They get the win of this match. Ash is not happy because Ash has a big match, and now she has to worry about her teammates losing a match. And she told everybody to get out. But Mr. Personnel guy, he thought he's okay, but she told him to get out as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have Mara Sadi. I forgot how they said it. Sadie will be versing a jobber, making her in-ring debut as a singles wrestler. It's, if you guys didn't know, it's Jerrica Jackson from NXT, but because she got released and now she's part of TNA, that's her name. She gets the win against a jobber. Jacy Jane defends her Knockouts Championship against Ash, and nobody, I guess Ash wins this match by disqualification because of Masha. Masha attacked Ash, and then we had a brawl between with Masha, Ash, Heather, and M. Fatal Influence. Well, it showed up. Lee showed up. Brookside showed up. Casey and Jesse showed up. Everybody showing up, attacking each other, having a brawl. And that's why we're having this tag team title match, because all this brawls happen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's crazy. We have Joe Hendry in our main event against Mustafa Ali. A lot of problems for Joe Hendry because there's Order 4 everywhere, won't stop attacking him. And then he got attacked by that big security guard as well with the big boots. But, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of that match was Joe Hendry somehow. Joe Hendry gets the win after all those attacks from Tasha Steele, Skyler, Hotch, the big security guard, Mustafa Ali, but he still gets the win. Congrats to Joe Hendry. And he's going to be on NXT this next week against Charlie Dempsey. So as Moose. Moose is going to be on NXT as well this week, being an 8-man tag team match against Dark States. So that's going to be interesting as well. Is there any more TNA stars that's going to show up on NXT? Well, remember what Tavion Heights says. He says he's going to find a woman that will hit Chelsea Green. Another woman. A woman hitting a woman. Ladies and gentlemen, I wonder who he's going to choose. Would it be from NXT or from TNA? Somebody from TNA Chelsea Green has a problem with. But I don't think there's a lot of people that Chelsea Green has a problem with that's still in TNA. There is some guys I still wish that shows up on TNA, on NXT, or NXT stars show up on TNA. I can't really think of some yet. I would like to see Rich Swann make a return in WWE. That would be cool because now he's part of NXT. TNA, and AJ Francis is kind of working with Trick Williams. So does that mean Rich Swann is? So what's going to happen there? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got some news from the United States. In 2026, you could watch the premium live events on ESPN. A lot of people are upset because you have to pay a lot of money to watch all the wrestling shows. If you want to watch Raw, you have to pay for Netflix. If you want to watch SmackDown, you have to pay your local TV bill, even on NXT. And if you want, I guess ESPN has their own website or their app. You watch it off there. So yeah, not a lot of people are happy about it. People don't know if Austin Theory is released because they said he's not in the active roster. But I don't think he's released because I think he's not active. He's not in the active roster because he's injured. So he's not active. He's not wrestling because he's injured. And ladies and gentlemen, Karen Cross, we heard that WWE offered a new contract to Karen Cross, but we don't know if he signed that contract. People are saying it might be like R-Truth. He will come back and make the fans happy, but let's see what happens there. I don't know what happens. I don't know what's going on with Karen Cross. We will find out. Karen Cross, I didn't know, but he made a book. He wrote a book. Congrats for him. Writing a book. And he published it, and everybody loves it. Congrats. I don't read books that much, so I'm not going to get the book. But ladies and gentlemen, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button, leave a comment below, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I will see you guys tomorrow for Friday Night SmackDown results. Will we see anything different happen on SmackDown? Well, John Cena has to talk about Brock Lesnar. Will we see Brock Lesnar on SmackDown? I think we definitely will see Cody Rhodes talking about his victory at SummerSlam. Every match, they're going to talk about SummerSlam. Every match that was on there. The steel cage match. I want to see different things between Jacob Fatu and Solo now. No more these attacks and Solo taking everybody out. I want to see more if the rivalry is not over yet. because he did destroy JC Mateo and Tongaloa in the steel cage. Is it over yet? Or is it a long rivalry? I don't think it hasn't been that long. They only had like 2 title matches. They had it at Night of Champions and on SummerSlam. Because that Saturday night's main event was Solo and Jimmy Uso, not Jacob Fatu. So I'm hoping that it's not over and we see more things. More people getting added to be part of it. Maybe Zilla Fatu. I would like to see that. But yeah, I want to see Tamatoga make his return. Maybe he could turn good and help Jacob Fatu. I have no idea. I'm hoping that we get to see more. I hope the rivalry's not over yet. And we see one more match between those two. Or we get a War Games match. Imagine we get a War Games match with Jacob Fatu being a good guy. He's getting a lot of good vibes with the fans. People love the guy. People love him even when he was a bad guy. So yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, that's all me today. If you guys enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Time is out. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.